running the sanctuary absolutely brings me peace. The work is 100% cathartic for me. You know, I find myself getting tied up in it and being busy, and then it's really nice just to sit, breathe in life, and it's beyond zen.
Ste.Marie Airport Development Corporation, owner and operator of the Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada Airport, is proud to support the Sault Curlers Fall Classic and welcome all to beautiful Sault Ste. Marie. The Sault Ste. Marie Airport. Go there to get anywhere.
Welcome, curling fans, to sunny Sault Ste. Marie. Some semi-final or some B-final action today with Team Carruthers against Team Sturmay. My name is Mark Brett, and I'm joined by Team Robert skip Charlie Robert. Welcome, Charlie.
Good afternoon, Mark. We're up for a great treat today. Two great teams playing off on Sheet F.
Carruthers throwing the green stones today and Sturmay with yellow. So we pick up action late in the first end.
Yeah, Carruthers has those two center line guards set up. They're not in the tick zone, but variable usable stones. Sturmay is going to wrap one around, try to set up some offense here early.
Hammer is determined by draw to the button closest to the pin. Carruthers won that. That's Hammer in the first end.
That was an uncharacteristic miss by the Sturmay team. I think he was trying to wrap that around. They come up short and a little wide, so I'm not sure if it actually it ticked off the guard there and rolled to the left-hand side looking at the sheet.
That leaves an opening for Brad to make a come-around draw, top 4 foot hopefully, and very fan favorite here, Brad Jacobs this week.
Yeah, you got that right. They certainly get the fans excited. Pretty much clap on any shots that are made over there. We had the unfortunate we were unfortunate in our game when we played them of having the crowd be pro Jacobs, and they certainly got a lot of claps and applause.
Well deserved though for Team Carruthers. Their road to the B qualifier as Charlie stated, defeated Team Robert in their opening game. Then went on to defeat Team Nyman, and a really close loss to Team Dumbstone that dropped them into this this B qualifier.
And you saw Brad's stone there. It actually overcurled on the interim. So keep an eye out on that. It's really moving towards the stands over there. I know on their earlier game yesterday on sheet A, the same thing happened on the fan side. They actually negated to want to throw any out turns coming home because of the ice against the stands. It's a little bit frostier out there, just given the heat from the spectators. So keep an eye on that during the game, what turn they favor. Another early miss by Team Ste.Marie, giving Team Carruthers an opening.
Really opportunity here to put some heat on by sinking another one in. Brad Jacobs with his second stone.
As you see, they're giving ice just inside the 12 foot there, so they're getting about 6 feet of curl. So they should wrap in there nice. The break point's about the hog line, and then you'll see that rock just go right sideways, which is preferred by all the curlers here. You enjoy that amount of curl because you can really make some difficult shots.
Great shot there by Brad to duck another one under. It does give the freeze opportunity to Team Sturmay to get out of jail.
Yeah, there's about a half a rock open on the outturn side. I think they'll be looking to just tap it back a little bit. With that kind of ice there, they're only given about 2 feet of ice on the outturn. So I don't know if he's just playing a straight tap there, Mark. With that ice, I believe it would be.
Yeah, it's got to be tap. I thought he tapped in front for freeze, but it looks like they're playing a bit more weight at it. Probably can curly sweep it and get behind there.
Yeah, they might look at just rolling away. Obviously, their goal here is to remain second shot, or excuse me, first shot. Don't score that one in the top 12. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was the draw. I guess it is a lot straighter on that side compared to the interim.
Really good throw there, shrinking down the scoring area just for Team Carruthers as they set one.
Well, there wasn't a whole lot of ice there. They took for that shot. It didn't really move a whole lot.
They probably don't have my intern, Charlie.
Well, that was actually an outturn, Mark, unless you're left-handed. Maybe you should be left-handed.
Agreed.
Yeah, so we'll have to keep an eye on that during this game. That the stand side of that sheet looks like it may be running a little bit straighter.
Sturmay's road to the B qualifier was a bit longer. They defeated Mark Keane in their opening game. Second game they lost to Team Return As. Then they defeated Team Skanes from Newfoundland and defeated Team Nyman from Sweden.
Yeah, they're really taking a long, hard look at this shot here. It's early in the game, but very pivotal. They have a chance to really put some early pressure on the Sturmay team. All the Carruthers team is engaged in the conversation here. I always think they're going to go back to that outturn, kind of seal off that side of the sheet. possibly with so much movement on that intern side, they believe maybe that Sturmay can't make that draw around the rock top 12 that Brad threw.
It's a corner guard in the way.
Yeah, maybe. I think if you just skinny that corner, it'd be tough to have your rock get the shot, given the amount of curl on that side of the sheet. I know in last night's game, we were getting lots of curl, and they were going sideways in a lot of spots.
No complaints from the players this week, though. The ice conditions have been phenomenal. Lots of curl, steady speed, not too much breakdown and late ends.
It looks like they just elected the guard here. So we'll see what's going to happen on this intern. How much ice they give. You saw that Team Ste.Marie gave about 2.5 to 3 feet of ice on the outturn freeze on this first one, and now he's giving middle of 12 to get that top 4. So obviously there's about another foot of curl on the one side in relation to the other. So Karsten's getting set to deliver this rock. Hoping just to get by that one in the top 12 and put himself in a position to seal off the 4-foot area. Boys are working on it here. See how much finish we're going to have. Line looks good. Warped in there nice.
Great shot.
Yeah, excellent. So yeah, by doing that, he's got that 4-foot sealed off, possibly hoping to force the Carruthers team to 1 point here in the first.
Got a 14-6 hog to hog on that rock, so it's been fairly consistent again all week.
Yeah, it looks like Reid's going to try to just feather that outside yellow to get into shot rock. You can roll off that yellow one a little wee bit if it comes to that. I think he can just barely chip it enough to roll the shooter in for second shot. It's going to be this is going to be a very precise shot here in the first end. One nice thing is they got to watch Sturmay Stone come down the sheets. They're getting a little bit of a good read on it. He's given outside 12 there, so it's just going to be managing that outside, or excuse me, that front yellow guard.
Still on that outside one.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a fine line. If he takes a little bit less ice there and it hits that break point early, I don't think he makes it by that stone that Sturmay threw there. So good force for Team Sturmay. He'll be happy escaping that in with just giving up the 1 point. The Carruthers team will be a little disappointed that they couldn't capitalize on getting a deuce there, but these guys are close in skill range, so we're in for a treat where they're going to watch some really good curling.
experience, if you work the land, you got to be a jack of all trades. You got to have a little bit of optimism, a little bit of idealism, and a whole lot of get-go.
Back live at the YNCU Curling Center for end number 2, B qualifier, Team Carruthers versus Team Sturmay. Leads are doing their jobs, center guard going up, followed by the corner. Great draw there, top of the button. Sturmay's not biting and immediately calls come around behind his corner guard.
Yeah, there's been some really good movement toward the wings here. Excuse me, this should really warp in there once it hits the hog line. It's all speed dependent. It's very, it has been all week. Ice has been fantastic. Josh Vandenberg and Tom Leonard have done an exceptional job, as well as the volunteers, preparing this ice surface for play for these fellas.
The ice surface and really the whole transformation of the curling facility here. We have a fan zone sponsored by Northern Superior Breweries, where the fans can get up and close to the play, and really lopsided attendance on sheets closer to Brad Jacobs, of course.
Yeah, this one here, you see that early sweep on the sweep side and then the finish on the straight side. So it's all about managing the rock with the sweepers. And that was a great effort there. Really going to put some heat on the Sturmay team. So he's going to look to freeze to that corner one. And if in doing so, you'll probably see his next shot rip that center off. Line on this looks pretty good. Front end's on and off it there. Trying to keep that rock obviously high side a little bit. Doesn't want to bounce and roll though. Needs to sit for a bit of a miss there. Thought you might have seen them try to curl sweep that a little bit more just to get a little more action. And then doing so, it'll slow that rock down just ever so slightly. But now you'll see Reid do that hit and roll, possibly taking out that other rock as well, make the double.
Just got caught in between there, Charlie, and sometimes you got to make those calls way earlier than you want to, right? So they decided just to hopefully it died and curled in there. Unfortunately, got the bounce.
Yeah, it's tough going to the wings there because you know there's going to be a little bit more frost. You're just kind of hoping it grinds in there a little bit as it finishes. But on that one, just skidded a little bit too far. I think they're going to play the double. It looks a bit, or the straight just hit and roll. I'm thinking they don't want to really get rid of that backing behind the green one. The line looks really good. Got Brad on this one trying to keep it straight. I don't think he'll be overly happy with that shot just because it leaves something back for Sturmay to hit and roll on top of that green. Kind of got no man's land on the roll.
So is it called to try to roll corner frozen or underneath, Charlie?
Yeah, I think he just wants to cross the face a little bit and just corner that other green one. They're going to be close on this. That's pretty good. Yeah, so I think you're going to see Reid, just as he indicated there, just hit that and go back on top because he can't go to the middle now or he'll pick out his own green.
Could arguably blast everything, but then you kill your own end, right? So he's trying to keep on the offense a little bit here. Roll another one underneath.
Yeah, and I don't think he wants to nose this either because if he does, he'll give a double back for the Sturmay team to get that one off the top four. They're off it right now. It's hanging out a little bit. It's starting to come up. He's going to get about right to nose. So yeah, you'll see him play this double here. It's going to jam on those rocks over in the wing there, but I don't think he's too worried about that as long as he gets shot rock. I think getting that one off the 4-foot is the ultimate goal here, and someone's going to score this end for sure. I'm assuming with that ice that he's taken, they're going to throw fairly firm. It looked like he was right to set that back a little bit on his release. It's pretty good.
Great shot. A little more than half exposed though for Team Carruthers, so they'll have a play on this rock.
I think he just wants to take that guard and kind of sit right there. Yeah, he's indicating like a back-lined easy hack. You don't want to roll too much to the right as we're looking at it from the Brad's perspective. Just get by the guard and sit right there. He's got a good opportunity to put himself in a position to force Sturmay to point here, but still early. We got 4 rocks to play yet. Oh, just gets by. Stay right there. Yeah, great shot. The double's there, but it's fairly steep. So he's indicated more just a hit and roll anywhere in front of that rock to be happy with, but
got some margin of error there to play with.
Yeah, a little bit. So he's given indication with that ice that he's probably throwing like a control weight. There's something that they can manage with the sweepers. A little bit to keep it straight. A little curl. That's a great weight choice there. Just managing that stone down the sheet. He just rolled a little bit too far, so Carruthers still ended up with shot rock, but it's in a great position, mind you.
Yeah, it's in a control position, so Reid can either choose to ignore that and go around everything. And I don't think he's going to make a play at it. It's kind of risky.
Yeah, he's going to have to be really precise with his next one, so I'm thinking he's probably going to throw something top 4 around that center if he elects to do that.
You're looking at it.
Yeah, he could play like a control weight, in turn hit at it, and take out everything, and leave a shooter sitting there. I think you get that moving across the guard, but you don't want to jam it. So yeah, it looks like they're going back to the draw. Or the guard, yeah, that's an option.
If you guard, Sturmay's probably just going around everything, though.
Yeah, then I guess you just follow them down and hope that you shrink the scoring area so that they only get one. They're taking a look at that shot that I had mentioned earlier, that intern hit, but I don't think he bought the front end, but they were cooking and selling there, so I think they're going to go back to the center, make that draw.
Always trust your front end, Charlie.
Yeah, so Brad's indicating just back 4, so in doing so, he's hoping that Sturmay then comes to them, and then they have a shot to freeze back on top of the Sturmay rock, and hopefully, in their minds, put the force on.
Yeah, and if the rock isn't placed properly, Sturmay could come off his own yellow, double off the greens, and sit a couple points, so they're cognizant of putting this in the exact spot that they want.
Yeah. Well, they're testing that intern early with the stands being on that side of the sheet, and it looks like the line is good. Biggest thing here is not over curling, which Derek may have popped out just a little wee bit on the out turn side. Yeah, I think Sturmay is going to go give a go with that double. I think he may lose his raised rock though if he attempts it. I don't have a shot of the overhead though with the angle. Yeah, it must be there. Remember, they might even be content if they do lose that that yellow one over on the left, but yeah, the angle's pretty good. He should be able to make the double and sit 2 after this. And if he does make this, it'll push through the yellow rock in behind that yellow guard more too, so that'll negate Carruthers of making a double back, I think. Oh, he got a little out on this one. Yeah, oh, got away with it. He got away with it. He got rid of that shot rock. Unfortunately, left a pretty wide open shot for Reid to come down and hit and roll and put the force back on.
Force is on, yeah.
Yeah, so mission accomplished so far this end by Team Carruthers. They looked like they were in a little bit of jail, but with an untimely miss by the Ste.Marie team, they're back on the force here. So. They're indicating maybe has a little bit of weight. Yeah, they got stuck in that spot too. They're working hard on it. They're getting it to go. What a great directional sweep by the front end there. Wow.
Sweeper's assist on that one.
Oh, he pounded that thing the whole way and got it to move. That's why they pay the front ends big bucks, Mark.
Open draw for Team Sturmay to tie this one up at ones.
Yeah, it just goes to show you this end, like one half miss by the opposition, and the quality of curling out here this week is, if you're not making those shots, you will pay.
Might get away with that one on Tuesday Night Beer League. We're not here.
Yeah, that's for sure. They're playing the intern. Margin of error is a little bit greater. It's hanging that line there, but it should finish up this one. It's going across.
No panic from the front end.
Nope.
T-line shot for the single. We'll be back right after this message from our sponsors.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
At Coyote, we know that when the weekend rolls around, you have two choices. Kick up your feet or kick up some dirt. If only all decisions would be so easy. Coyote, we dig dirt.
We're for agriculture. For growers, doers, whatever it takers. We're for doing things with purpose. We're for the little guy with big guy dreams. We're for agriculture. We're for you. Nutrien Ag Solutions, leading the field.
An iron horse leads you north. A wooded canyon draws you in. Where am I?
Welcome back, folks. Third end action. Sheet F, YNCU Curling Center, Sault Curlers Fall Classic.
Yeah, so just an update. After two ends of play, we have a tie game. Reid was forced to win in the first, and Sturmay was forced to win in the second.
And a reminder that there are 3 other games being live streamed. On Sheet B, we have Team Sandy McEwen versus Team Nyman. On Sheet C, Team Young against Team Shimizu. And on Sheet E, Team Howard versus Team Oregon.
Yeah, they're working hard on this one. They got it by there. They got to get by their other green. Great freeze. Sturmay's going to try to come to the top of that green one. Shrink down the 4 foot. If that's the case, I think you'll probably see Carruthers blast that front. So the front end's liking the weight, starting to come across. Backed off a little bit. Could be a little bit strong. It's coming down there now. Right to the corner. Great shot.
Great positioning.
Yeah. Like I alluded to before, I think they're going to rip that front now. Try to cross the yellow onto that green and then maybe get some action in the house from the green to the yellow that was just thrown. So Derek's going to whip this down there. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some speed on it. He's giving about 2 inches of ice on where he wants to actually. No, the ice is almost where he wants to hit the rock. So. Oh yeah, it's got some heat. They haven't licked to it yet. Oh, a little bit. There we go. Oh, there it is. Just like they drew it up.
Nowhere to hide.
Yeah, certainly having a weapon like that on the front end is a very Skip's dream, that's for sure. Just change the complexity of the end, just one shot, eh, Mark?
End changer for sure, yeah. Now you're switching from offense to how to keep your opponents from scoring two or less.
So they've elected to go after that one on the wing. Hopefully roll that shooter to the inside. Kind of hoop the rocks. Doing the same thing. He's going to hit, try to have a little bit of an outside roll. Keep those separated. He's going with the in turn here too. Most teams are throwing that out turn, but I wonder if it has something to do with the frost on the outside against the viewing area.
Or operator preference.
Yeah, there's that too. Yeah, Derek just threw an in turn hit, so. This one here is tracking a bit. That's trying to finish. They just threw that soft control weight. Just spins out the back of the house. So. So just like that, controls back to Sturmay in this end. He's going to make this, hit it a little off center, split the rocks in the house, and then Reid's going to have to contend with 2 rocks. Hopefully get himself out of a forced situation himself. I'm not sure what they'd be discussing here, Mark. Yeah, see, now they're looking at just applying the pressure. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that Sturmay was the yellow rock, so now they're still going to get rid of it.
Briefly looked at the center guard, but I think that's a bit too early in the game for being that aggressive, but here we are.
So I guess he's just trying to peel it off or make the double and just sit one after this shot. Yeah, everything's going to go, I think. Oh, just hung on to the back.
I think Reid be happy to blank this one. Calling for the hit on the nose. If you needed a couple points, you could freeze down to it, but you don't need to in an odd end.
And there's the nose hit. Ooh, got a little bit out on it. Just didn't come up at the end. Stick it back there really didn't hurt them. So they're just going to try to put this probably top 12, or excuse me, top 4. Keep the play to the center, making the blank a little bit more difficult if they exchange rocks. Just a little bit longer to roll on your last one.
So here's one for you, Charlie. In baseball, they've instituted the new rule where if you want to walk a player, you don't have to throw 4 balls. You just say walk the player. What about in curling in a situation like this when you're saying blank end? Just call it.
So if there was no rocks in the house, instead of even throwing a rock down the sheet, just say we want a blanket.
Blanket. Trying to make it easy for the ice makers.
Yeah, for sure. One thing with curling, though, there's always the opportunity is always there to make or miss a shot. So, how many blanks have you seen where either stick one or sometimes the skipper gets a little too enthusiastic on his release and blows by everything and gives up a steal of one?
Yeah, it always works better if you hit first and roll later.
Exactly. Yeah, the old skips blank, take one. So an exchange of rocks here. So just trying to nose that stone. Good throw, nice control weight. So you'll probably see an exchange of rocks here. They may elect to, with that ice there, it looks like it's probably a nose or even an over curl, possibly trying to get a roll to the wing. I know if I was calling the shot, I'd probably try to get it out to the wing, knowing that I want a blank. Looks like they're going to just hit it on the beak. So they've elected to go with the out turn. You can see that delivery, how he was just inside the broom a little bit, and then just feeds it back out to the broom, which will help keep it straighter. Now the curl sweeper on a little bit just to get it up the nose. Nice control weight. Nice thing about where the position of this rock is Reid already had a practice shot at this, and just has to add a little bit more broom and a little bit more weight. Should roll away for the blank. He did elect to go with the out turn this time instead of the in turn. Maybe they think that out turn runs a little bit straighter, because I know the in turn was moving a little bit more on the first end there. Most people throw their out turn a little straighter. You got Derek on this, and he's going to get a good quarter of it, and there it goes. Actually, maybe a tiny bit less than a quarter. But the rock is gone no less.
What's a thin quarter? Can't do the math on that. Good shot by Reid Carruthers for the blank end. And we'll be back with you right after these messages.
We lost part of our forest to fire several years ago. We decided to stay and help it recover. People who have heavy machinery have the opportunity to reach out and help their neighbors for the common good.
When your people are ready, your business is ready. Cintas makes sure they have what they need to perform their best, whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, fire protection systems that are tested and inspected, first aid and safety supplies, floor mats, or cleaning tools and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better workdays happen together, so visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Welcome back, curling fans. Fourth end of play. Team Carruthers versus Team Sturmay. Sault Curlers Fall Classic B qualifier action. Sturmay's first shot slipped into the 12-foot, so it gave Team Carruthers the hit opportunity. Sturmay now opting for another guard. Just slipped into the rings again, so that'll give Team Carruthers another hit opportunity. So a little bumper weight nose hit here may leave the Carruthers rock outside of the rings. Take advantage of that free guard zone. Karsten opting for another guard call. Weight looks good. Sweepers are trying to get it over to the center line. Succeeded. And Reid opting to keep it clean. Get rid of that. Looks like Reid was overruled on that one. Democracy now on curling teams, so it looks like they're opting for the come around.
In a 1-1 game with Hammer in the even end. I'm all for putting the pressure on if you can get this by and sit those two. Early, you put the pressure on the opposition.
Just like that, Charlie?
Just like that. Drew it up perfectly. Nice thing is they do have a good rock position there, so even if the opposition was to lay one in here, the rocks up front are preferable for your team, given yours is closer to the rings. You're 2 shots away from making something happen in the house. And in Derek's case, maybe only 1 shot. They're really trying to get this to go. Looks like he's getting it by. Great sweep there. Not quite as deep as they wanted, but it chokes off that side. He's going to try to come right to the nose of that now, sit on top of it. Or open it up again, which they've had great success on doing thus far in the game. Yeah, they're going to go on the defense here again.
Yellow, green, yellow.
Yeah, it looks like it.
See if Derek can do it. Be 2 for 2 on this shot this game.
Well, here it comes. They haven't laid a brush to it. Looks to be a little bit wide this time. Let's hang it out a bit. Yeah, I think fourth end, I really liked seeing him, what his first instinct was there to draw to the face of that yellow. I just think you still have a few more shots to bail if it doesn't turn out in your favor there. Now you're kind of giving control back to Team Ste.Marie here. So he's just going to try to tap this one onto the shot stone.
Roll away and get a couple scenarios going. Or maybe a steal setup, but also more importantly the force.
Mm-hmm. So it's about a control weight hit here. Just don't want to ever be inside on this, because if you ever feather tick that green into the house, that'll change the complexion of the end real quick. But yeah, you do this the right way. He just gets by. So mission accomplished. Yeah, mission accomplished by the Ste.Marie team. You really have to watch when you do the directional sweeping. I know some teams have gotten caught on making it curl, and then once it starts to go, you're pretty much you're finished because you can never straighten them back out again. So good management there. Yellow sits 2. Look at Brad to make a double here. To sit 2, and then you might even see Sturmay take on just a short run double back, because the SWAT should be sitting right beside the other. This clears, yeah, right there. So I assume the call will be a double on the front. I don't think we'll just try to pick and roll that out. Yeah, so there it is. So if he does hit this the right way, if he hits it on the high side with the in turn going down, he could make the double and roll the shooter for a biter possibly.
Shaping up to be another blank.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I was kind of anticipating them making that freeze on Derek's second one, just to add a little bit of excitement for the fans, a little fence. And there they go. All the rocks are flying, and we got another empty house. So 3 rocks to play. You'll probably see Brad put a rock to the wing. Which is always nice as a player to have a situation like this, just to hone in your draw weight. It's nice to not have to make a high leverage shot. Give yourself a little bit of a feel. Now we're 4 ends in. Ice is broken in nicely. Get a freebie. He laser on the tee line. All right, there we go, nose hit. So the Sturmay team will be happy with an exchange of stones. And the Carruthers team, I think they'll be happy with another blank too. They haven't really been tested too much in this game so far. Either team, the Sturmay team has tried to put some pressure on. Both teams making excellent shots to keep this game close.
Yeah, fairly defensive approach to the game. Of course, the winner of the B qualifier goes on to championship qualifier games or quarterfinals tonight at 8 p.m. The loser will drop to a C qualifier at 4 p.m.
A bit of a miss there by Reid. He'd probably like to stick around on that one just to force Karsten to hit and stick. It gives him Karsten an opportunity to have a free draw to the house. You may see in the next end, if this does turn out to be a blank, Sturmay team putting a little bit more pressure, possibly gambling a little bit more to force the Carruthers team into that 1 point so they can get control in the even end. I think they'll be more than happy to have the Carruthers team blank this end. At this level here, you're not going to see too many misses. either side on these kind of shots. That front end's just walking that stone down. It's maybe a little bit heavy. It's going to stop. No panic. So they're going to change the shot. Reid. Play the intern. So there's an intern against the fan seating. So see what this does. As Marky alluded to earlier, another full house along that sheet.
They're working it.
Yeah, he's
No panic.
and another blank. So you might see a little discussion between both teams, or taking a little bit of a break here.
I've been raised on the farm since day one, so I was born into it. My grandfather came in here in 1905. I want to continue the farm for him and generations to come. So
I think it's a privilege that we get to be here. It's just a wonderful way of life.
You know, what job is there that you can go to work with your dad and brother, with your kids by your side? Doesn't get much better than that.
And we are back. Sault Curlers Fall Classic B qualifier between Team Carruthers and Team Sturmay, presented to you by KIOTI Tractor. I need one of those, Charlie.
Yeah, I know. Winter in Sault Ste. Marie is fastly approaching, and the amount of snowfall that we got last year, nice Coyote Tractor would look really good in my driveway.
And my neighbor's driveway? And my other neighbor's driveway?
Yeah, no kidding. So after 4 ends, both teams were forced early to take 1 point by the opposition, and Reid Carruthers with last stone advantage is just elected to keep it fairly clean. You have a couple opportunities to possibly push the issue, maybe be a little more aggressive. He's elected to go a little bit more on the defensive side. I think they like the way they're throwing over there on that sheet. Kind of waiting for the Sturmay team to make a mistake, which they really haven't done. They played really well with teams, and hence the score that we have here.
8-end game, so there is a big difference between the strategy and the timing where you need to force the issue compared to a 10-ender, but 5 ends, we're getting close.
Yeah, I think if you're the Sturmay team here, I think you really got to put the pedal down a little bit. 5th end, they'd love to force Reid into a forced situation, take 1 point, regain control of the end and the even. And I think you're going to see that here. Obviously, they lobbed up the first center guard, made a freeze on the second one, and I think you're going to see another guard here. I think he was calling on the house. I didn't see where the skipper tapped, but yeah, that rock isn't in a bad position, but it certainly was wide open. And then again, you're going to see Reid want to smash the front. They're really not taking advantage of the tick rule, the no tick rule, I guess. Having those rocks sitting on the center line, but
Opting for the run again.
yeah, so he's decided to hit that center one into the pile. And just like that, the front of the house is over, or excuse me, the 3-guard zone is void of rocks again.
What a machine.
Yeah, he's really feeling it today. I think that's his 3rd or 4th double peel. That's why rock position is so critical. Just trying to get those rocks a little bit more set up on an angle where those doubles aren't there, but these guys are so powerful. They even hit them 7/8 of a rock. They can get their shooter to spin and get the rocks rolling in the house. So looks like Sturmay team is looking at drawn to that pocket. They could go a little bit more aggressive and possibly throw up another guard and have them Carruthers team maybe burn a couple of rocks, getting rid of some guards, but I think he's just playing the hit. So this is a good call as well. They're just going to hit and try to roll to the wing, get a little separation, try to exchange rocks that way. And if the Carruthers team can't make a double, then the force would be on that way.
Although they're going to have 5 cracks at it.
Yeah, and they're not getting the separation here, so bit of a miss there. I think they would like to see that one roll away a bit. Yeah, so he's just gonna Just going to hit this one here. You'll probably see both these ones fly. They kind of look like he hit. He motioned with his broom to hit the stick on the nose, but I think it was just calling the straight double. Yeah,
Just
there it
clean
is.
it in.
Yep.
Bang, bang.
And there we go. Back to a wide open house with one rock count.
I'm going to call a blank in here, Charlie.
If I'm Vegas odds makers, I'm thinking you're going down the right path.
Were you curling competitive when it was pre-free guard zone? Remember those days?
I certainly did. That's what I grew up, how I learned the game. And, yeah, I mean, you had one guy that could draw on the team, and then you had 3 other guys that just smashed takeouts all game. And we were hoping to win 1-0. The games were like an hour and a half long for 8 ends.
No time clocks at this event, so there's been a lot of 3-hour 8-end games. A lot of thinking going on.
Yeah, that's for sure. Sometimes when you give these teams that free reign to take as long as they want, sometimes you get some over-analysis of calls and whatnot. But this game here obviously has been pretty quick, and it's been pretty much up and down the sheet. Not too many draws. We're already in the 5th end, and we're just over an hour and 10 minutes in, I believe, something like that. So they've been playing quick.
So from a strategy perspective, you think Reid's just happy to keep doing this for 2 more ends?
Yeah, I mean, you look at his lineup, there's no reason why they can't just keep hitting and cleaning and hitting and cleaning and right to the 8th end. But all it takes is a couple of well-placed stones by the opposition and one half miss on appeal, and the complexion of an end can change in a heartbeat. So as much as Reid is happy here, the Sturmay team is going to want to get some rocks in play. Because a blank here, if you were an odds maker, just the way the game has gone so far, would probably put it in the favor of Carruthers.
That hammer is so important. The draw to the button before the game, the pre-game hammer selection process is super important. Just a huge advantage to start the game. The last draw can try to maintain that advantage.
Yeah, I think the key here was early was even though Reid started out the game with hammer, he was forced. But then a good, well-played end in second forced Sturmay back to get that hammer back again. So even though he had hammer to start the game, it didn't go his way, but he was able to put the pressure back on. And it's been pretty much an open game ever since here. But a couple of rocks in play, but Derek has really done a fantastic job of cleaning up the lobby guards. So, I mean, pretty hard to defend against that. And they sit and roll to the 4-foot button, and I don't know what the percentage of these players are because we're not keeping stats during this event, but the numbers got to be in the high 80s, 90s for both these teams today.
Well executed game for sure.
And that's what you expect, right? This is a B qualifier game. For those that aren't too familiar on how a triple knockout event works, Basically, these teams have lost one game going in, so.
21 teams this week, triple knockout format, going to an 8-team playoff, single elimination playoff. Quarterfinals will happen tonight at 8 p.m., 9 a.m. tomorrow for the semifinals, and right back-to-back on at 12:30 for the championship final.
Yeah, so nice hit there by Reedy. Got a hit and roll out to the wing. I think he'd be happy with that. Now it'd be easier for his blank if this rock is hit on the nose. So you can see how straight it is on this one side, where this, excuse me, where the stands are. He's just giving just basically nose. Stand right down there. Get a little flip inside. And Reid's giving about 2 inches, maybe 3 inches more ice. He throws a nice positive release back out to the broom, so it should run straight. There's not far to roll, you know, there's about 1.5 feet for the blank.
Keeping it clean. And there's another blank. Tie game after 5. We'll be right back after this message from our sponsors.
In my experience, if you work the land, you got to be a jack of all trades. You got to have a little bit of optimism, a little bit of idealism, and a whole lot of get-go.
All right, curling fans, we're back at YNCU Curling Center in sunny Sault Ste.Marie for the Coyote Tractor Sioux Curlers Association Fall Classic. In a low-scoring 1-1 game, playing the sixth end between Team Carruthers and Team Sturmay. B qualifier action.
Yeah, so Team Sturmay is going to want to get the center line right on, excuse me, the center guard right on the line. The angles are actually really good on that one. That'd be a little bit more difficult to peel later in the end, as you saw the Carruthers team put one right top 12, or excuse me, top 4 around that first center guard. And that's so important by your lead, is when the opposition does throw up that center, that your lead can put one right around that in that optimal position that rock is in right there. I mean, it just makes it so tough on the opposition, because even though they're throwing up the double guard, if you keep coming around, as long as you keep making your shots, you're going to have a great opportunity to score, possibly a multiple.
Yeah, you have to deal with those rocks as they're put in the optimal position there. So.
The line looks pretty good on this one. It has to finish up a little bit if you can get in there a little bit. Yeah, that one just quite didn't curl as much as this first one. Just that little bit less weight, didn't travel and get that hard finish.
Don't think the double is there. I can't see from this angle, Charlie.
Yeah, we're not sitting behind that sheet. We're 5 sheets over. He may be able to just get a piece of that on the way by.
Looks like he's calling a lighter weight takeout.
The only, depends how aggressive you want to be here. The only negative about calling the shot is if he makes it, you know what's going to happen. You know, the Carruthers team's going to come down and that double peel off and open everything up again. And I know what Sturmay's thinking, he certainly doesn't want to give up 2 here. So yeah, it looks like he's just tapping that back. Hopefully maybe tap that one on the 4-foot to the back 4, which he did do. Unfortunately though, he left the 2 stones in the 4-foot for Carruthers. So you're probably going to see Reid hit and roll off of that one. Or the shot that he just called. If I was him, I would elect to play that top yellow into that yellow that was just thrown. I think that's what he's going to do. I mean, why wouldn't you call this, right?
It's worked so far.
Yeah, Samogolski's made every one of these so far, and we're 6 ends in, so. Hope we didn't do the old broadcast jinx, which we did. My apologies to the Carruthers fans out there. So a little opening here for Team Sturmay. He's going to try to lay one on top of that rock on the back 4. The crowd's sitting on their hands over there on sheet F, and they're just ready to explode with a big shot here. So hopefully this end brings some excitement for them. It's been pretty quiet thus far. This one looks pretty good. Just giving it a light dust. He's maybe overthrown this a tad.
A little overthrown, yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
He wanted to get to the face of that without bumping it to make it really difficult to remove. I think he's still running the front.
Yeah, I think he's going to elect that intern hit, try to pick off that other yellow and get some action in the house. I don't think he could hurt himself unless he hit it like so bad. Yeah, I like that call right there. Just try to hit it, get to the inside of the yellow. You might see all the yellows fly if he hits it on the right angle. Be tough to get rid of that one that was just thrown by the Ste.Marie team, mind you, but we're going to give a go at it. You know, this is going to have some heat. And he just threw this shot, so should know the path pretty well. So here it comes. Watch some granite fly, I'm sure. And like he drew it up there. Now the crowd's got the got a little excitement there on that shot. Look at, like, I don't know what Derek ate for breakfast this morning, but whatever it was, I want in on that diet. What a great shot. Just like that, the end is turned around, right? So now we got Sturmay having to, or excuse me, being forced to make a hit when he had some offense going. But that just goes to show you that draw, that freeze down there, a little bit heavy, bumping that rock. It really hurt them. You wouldn't think it, as a club curler, that, you know, it was a decent shot. He still had some rock position in front of that stone, but you give these guys an inch, they're going to take it, and they responded with a mess here. So Carruthers had the waiting game, and now they got an opportunity. If they can hit in an optimal position here, there won't be a double back, and they'll sit two.
So really the game of patience here has paid off for Team Carruthers.
Yeah, and it was basically just that one half miss by Team Sturmay this end, and if I'm the skipper, I'm liking the look of the house right now. This one's curling up maybe a little bit, but you don't want to get anything on the inside. Yeah, a bit of a miss there by Mr. Jacobs. Just wanted to keep that to nose, or maybe a tad on the outside.
Tad of the outside, yeah, you can't roll to group your rocks a bit closer to give Sturmay another crack at the double.
Yeah, and I wonder if they'll maybe soften the weight a little wee bit, because you can make that double easily with just a control and keep your shooter, because I don't think they want to roll out. It looks like just a regular weight. He didn't overthrow that at all. That line looks pretty good. Oh, wow. I thought that was made.
So a bit of luck on Team Carruthers' side this end. That's 3 half misses from Team Sturmay, which we haven't seen all game. Now Brad has the opportunity to throw one to the wings and sit two, and put them in a good position to get a deuce.
Yeah, 2 doubles back-to-back by the Sturmay team, and they certainly scared the rock on the way by, but nonetheless, they didn't remove it, and here we are. Brad Jacobs here with a chance to do another rock in the house. They're going to try to put this in a position, obviously, to negate any type of double.
And we have a comment in the chat from Jan, asking for a replay. Unfortunately, we're not running replays during this production, but all the games will be available after it's free to watch again. And last comment for Jan, you are watching it on YouTube, so all you have to do is back up your cursor to see that shot again. Click the live button to get back into the live action.
Okay, Mark. If you see the angles here, I think they may have left a small opening for a double here. Brad's rock probably would like to see it another 6 inches deeper.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. The angle's pretty natural here. It's a little bit flat, but absolutely it's making it. Especially with the intern, he's going to get a lot of action coming off of it.
Especially with the intern and the operator. Hard on the curl sweep.
Yeah, I think he got it.
Underneath.
Yeah, maybe a bit of an overthrow on that one, knowing that he couldn't hit it too thick, and gives the Carruthers team advantage back on repositioning the rock. They're taking a little bit of a look at it now, where they want to put this one. Looks like they might try the other side, just in case they end up doing the same thing. You don't want to give the opposition skipper 2 cracks at the same sort of shot, because you know they're going to make it. Yeah, so they're going to look to go to the stand side in the same position as Brad's, just a tad deeper, even up those 2 stands. It'll be interesting to see what this does on the out turn, curling towards the fans there. Obviously, the error on this one would be just biting the top 4 foot on the right, if that was going to be your miss. And if the Sturmay team did try to make the double, he'd roll his shooter off as well and just look at the blank again. They're really watching this one and they haven't touched it yet. Yeah, I think it's coming down a little bit. I think they may have gotten caught. I was afraid of that, just because that frost out there and going to that side. So he may have just did that little bit of an ad, thinking that it was going to be slower, and he just didn't quite get over into that slower ice out there, and
added a frost conversion that wasn't there.
Yeah, exactly. Just as rock just didn't get over there. I think we dealt with some of that on sheet A earlier this week.
Easy come, easy go for Team Carruthers, and it's looking like another blank end in this B qualifier action. Sault Carruthers Fall Classic.
Yeah, that was a big missed opportunity for the Carruthers team, but all goes well. The sand for them, they'll retain the hammer and they still do have control of this game. So they're not going to sweat that one too much. Short memory. So another blank attempt. Reid's been 4 of 4 on these. I guess 3 of 3. A bad math.
Who's counting?
All I know is there's been a lot of blanks, and he's made every one of them. So.
Well, I think I got my Halloween costume picked out, Charlie. I'm going to dress up as an 80s Carruthers scoreboard 2-1.
Yeah, it's like a flash from the old times here, looking at the scoreboard down there. Oof, they just slivered that one off, but blank no less, and here we are in a 1-1 game going into the 7th end.
Back in a minute, folks.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
At Coyote, we know that when the weekend rolls around, you have two choices. Kick up your feet or kick up some dirt. If only all decisions could be so easy. Coyote, we dig dirt.
We're for agriculture. For growers, doers, whatever it takers. We're for doing things with purpose. We're for the little guy with big guy dreams. We're for agriculture. We're for you. Nutrien Ag Solutions, leading the field.
Okay, into the 7th inning we are here at the YNCU Curling Center at the Coyote Fall Classic. We're in a deadlock game at 1-1 going into the 7th. Team Carruthers has hammer after 4 consecutive blanks. Just to recap for anyone just tuning in, Reid had a chance to split the host, sit 2 on his first stone of the 6th end, and just slid through the rings. In his defense on that, he was playing an out turn towards the stands. It's about a half a second slower on that side of the sheet. Probably just gave it a little bit extra weight, anticipating the slower side, but his rock didn't quite curl enough to get into that fresh frost over there, and resulted in sliding through. But he's successful in the blank, retained control going into the 7th here. So we have one Sturmay guard up on the center. Looks like this team is going to try to take off that top. Trying to just chip it out of there. That way, looks like they're trying to chip it, eh, Mark?
Yep. Really working hard not to disturb that front stone. Touching the center line.
And a little roll. Really like to see the shell one leave the house. What a great shot by that lead.
Great shot.
Yeah, Connor's been putting everything up this whole game. He's made life pretty rough on the Sturmay team, because when they put that center line guard up there, he's been top 4 every time. We're the unfortunate victim of that in our second draw this week against them. So you got Team Sturmay changing gears a little bit. They know the importance of forcing Team Carruthers to 1 point. So they elected to go around the center guard, try to corner that one on the 4. But as things go in the Great American Classic Groundhog Day, we're going to see another appeal by Derek Senegowski. And that one It's going to leave the planet. Bye.
This scenario might play out a few more times. Guard peel, guard peel.
Yeah, I think they have to keep putting up that guard kind of motion, possibly making some sort of a play on the house. But both these teams are great hitters, and if they start grouping rocks, it's basically one shot away from all the rocks that's in the house.
Yeah, you know it's going to happen at some point. It's all about timing, right? You're trying to waste rocks right now and wait till the last possible moment to make a play.
Yeah, just the way the theme of this game has gone so far, Sturmay really has to try to get that force this end. I don't think you want to see the Carruthers team blank again.
Was that a little too deep, Charlie? I think they got to run that yellow now.
Yeah, unfortunately with that one sliding a little bit too deep in that free guard zone, they're just going to take a run at hitting that rock into the yellow and splitting everything off. Yeah, just the way he just saw Reid kind of motion with his broom. Tried to go over the top and clip the top corner of that one. I don't think you can really, nothing bad can really go wrong with this, because even if he thins it, he might even come off the zone green there and still get some action on those ones on the top four.
Just make them go away, and I think Reid will be pretty happy with a blank here.
Yeah, he did motion. Oh, there it is again. I mean, if Reid's successful in winning this game, which I'm not saying he's going to, I do believe Derek's going to get Player of the Game awards. He's certainly in contention thus far.
Do they do that in curling teams? Like my son's hockey team, they get the hard hat for the hardest worker of the game award?
Yeah, not too many curling teams have that, but I think we got to invent it because it'd be a great award to give somebody. I think we called it in our sport a jug of beer.
I normally buy my own.
You give yourself the Player of the Game every game, Mark. These guys here probably, I don't know, maybe they give each other a keg of protein powder. So if the Sturmay team, you might be getting a little bit frustrated at this point. But they're going to keep hammering away at the house here, trying to get some rock position.
The good thing for Sturmay, though, is they do have a guard just off the center line that they've utilized. Brought the play in deep to try to force the issue again. So they do have a bit more going than in previous ends after Derek's been finished shooting.
Yeah, and that was a good call by them just to slide that one behind the tee line. They're hoping that if this Team Carruthers decides to get rid of their guard, which is now a guard, that they have something to draw to at the back of the house. It looks like they're going to chase here, right?
Love the chase, play it tight. Worst case scenario, you rip that front off, you still have some options to get out of trouble.
Yeah, and if it looks like he's throwing like a control weight, that if he does chisel that top one, he might even push it onto the rings. It might stay for third shot. So, and your shooter might stay as well. You could actually sit 3 here. It would be a miss, mind you. Don't get me wrong, but it's definitely in the cards, right?
By the guard, so calling on the curl sweep.
He's a little bit firm on this one. Just got a piece of it to push it out of the rings. Mission accomplished. So Team Sturmay is going to repeat the shot that they previously called. Maybe try to overcurl a little wee bit to show some of it on the intern. Just making that shot that Brad just made a little more difficult. If they elect to call that again. But if that's the case, you might just see them run that green into it. Well, the boys are working on this one a bit. We needed to get some finish out of it once it gets past the guard. Like I said, I think they want to bring that a little bit deeper and get a little more curl out of it. They put it almost in an identical spot as their first one. So I think Brad has the same shot. They're looking at maybe getting rid of that guard now. Yeah, see, they're actually calling that shot that I said that they made. Their plan B shot from last end, yeah.
Tick till I3, and then Sturmay's going to make some tough choices.
Sure he does. You can't give up you can't give up any more than one here. A lot of times when you try to force the other team to 1 point, they get a multiple. And just the way this game has gone, I think if the Carruthers team was to score 2 points, tough to counter that, Nate, but
have they looked at the straight freeze at all? Would that be an option, Charlie?
By Carruthers' team?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be. It's not a bad call. I just think you're really shrinking it down, because if they freeze, then Sturmay team freezes on top of you, you may be forced to 1 point here, and because I don't think they'd have anything. I don't think they can draw into the 4-foot for a second point with that top 12 counter. It would kind of be in the way unless they raised it on an angle into the 4-foot, which it wouldn't be the ideal call or shot that you'd want to make. I like. Yeah, I'm not that their caliber, but I like the split on that front one, pushing that front guard off to the wing, roll your shooter across, and then you have to put it to the Sturmay team to make a decision. Are they going to go all out with a guard? But it looks like they're electing just to peek it.
Peek it and sit 2, 1 buried.
Yeah. And I think the ideal here is not even to peek it. I think maybe you want to hit it and roll your raised rock maybe out to the wing a little bit, just so they can't freeze on it, because you'd leave a freeze back if you just noses it. But goal one here is just going to go that shot rock at this point. This is Brad's bread and butter, and you're probably going to hear the crowd. There's some claps, and just as I mentioned earlier there, they left the guard, but at least they got shot rock and they rolled away. So now it's going to be a straight draw for the Sturmay team. And then you have options. So you can run that again. You can possibly pick it. And you put the pressure on the Sturmay team here to make a great shot, because now they're drawn against 2 stones.
So both teams all in on this end. One going for a multiple score, the other trying to force a steal.
Force or a steal, eh, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Sturmay team would be happy with a force as well. I don't know what the stats are, but I believe down one with hammer in the last end wins more than not, or more than not, rather. This one here is coming in, trying to get it to curl a little bit. I don't know if he's going to be fully buried. Yeah, that was a bit of an error. People that aren't too familiar with curling, it looks like it's pretty perfect, but he did hang a little corner out of it, so he's going to try to come down, hit that rock, and roll to the left, to the right as we're looking down the sheet.
Very accessible with a lighter weight tap weight.
Yeah, and the nice thing about this shot is on Brad's first shot, Jacob's first shot, he made this identical shot, so they know the line here, they know the kind of weight they need to throw, so he kind of had a rehearsal on it already. Because he does roll to the opposite side, it's going to put a ton of pressure on the Sturmay team, what they're going to do on their last one. Get the straight sweeper on it out of his hand here, but I think it's just more for rock management more kneeling. And then at the end they'll finish it. Well, it's hanging a little wee bit. They may have straightened that out too much with that straight sweeper.
Yeah, he missed the sweep call on that one for sure. They got by that front guard by a wide margin.
Mm-hmm. And we've seen that this week. If you go a little too aggressive early, you kind of get in a no man's land on that. He may have been just a tad firmer than what they called too, I think, on that one. Brad was a little bit softer, because you can see on the screen that yellow rock that's just in the back of the play on the back of the rings there is the one that Brad punched to that position. So an opportunity here for the Sturmay team to really put the pressure on the Carruthers team after what looked like was going to do in the favor of Team Carruthers. So just how it changes with one shot.
From scoring multiple to how do I score my one?
Mm-hmm. So he's probably looking to bury this one half around, or excuse me, this top 4 foot. Doesn't want to go deep with this, just top 4 buried is a great result here. It's got to slow down a little bit. Maybe too deep. Yeah, that might have slid a little bit too much. I mean, it's mission accomplished for them, right? They're going to probably force Team Carruthers into a 1 point here, unless you see something that I don't. There could be. I don't think there's a round the world off the.
There's a run double.
Off the green. Yeah, there's the run double. You're all in on that one, though. Maybe if Team Sturmay wasn't second shot, you might try that. Then I guess you wouldn't have to make it if they weren't second shot. Yeah, they're looking at it.
I think the scoreboard dictates that you take your one here and try to force Sturmay in 8
one in the
bring
next
it to the
one.
extras. Yeah.
Okay, so Team Crows will be looking for full T9 weight on this one. They just have to come up to that stone, or even just tap it an inch, and they'll score the one. Not a lot of ice, eh, Mark? You notice that? They're just halfway into the 8 here. So I must suit, throw and draw.
It's the in-out set that they these top teams have perfected. You know, take some of that
Yeah.
curl away, give them a bit more control on rock placement. This
Yeah,
one
this one
seems to be
here's-
hanging.
It's running a bit. As long as he didn't throw to the back, he'll be okay. It's got to come down there a little bit. It's got to come down and curl. Wow.
Steal a one.
Yeah, big error. So 2 misses late by Reid Carruthers, and the game is 2-1 Ste.Marie going into 8.
We lost part of our forest to fire several years ago. We decided to stay and help it recover. People who have heavy machinery have the opportunity to reach out and help their neighbors for the common good.
When your people are ready, your business is ready. Cintas makes sure they have what they need to perform their best, whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, fire protection systems that are tested and inspected, first aid and safety supplies, floor mats, or cleaning tools and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better workdays happen together, so visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
All right, curling fans, we're back for final end action in what's been a really close game between Team Sturmay and Team Carruthers in B qualifier action. The winner gets a little rest before their 8 p.m. playoff match tonight. The loser right back on the ice at 4 p.m. for the C qualifier.
Yeah, so patience paid off for Team Sturmay that last end. They didn't mind playing the opposition rocks in the house. Forced Team Carruthers to a couple of delicate shots and ended up with a steal. But as much as the 2 missed shots in the last end by the skipper, Team Carruthers is not going to sweat it too much. They regain the hammer, being down 1, playing the last end. They have a great, they have the opportunity to convert with a deuce to win the game. I will venture at this point that you will see some rocks in play.
Great rock by Connor, throwing the corner guard first and then drawing around his own corner.
Yeah, he's been having a great game. As much as we've been talking lots about Derek making those high hard shots, Connor's made almost. I don't think he's missed a shot at the lead position this morning, or excuse me, this afternoon. And the Ste.Marie team has gone toe-to-toe with them during this game, and hence why the score is 2-1. Another draw around that center. This is where it changes when you're down one with hammer in the last end. If this is any other end, you'd probably see him walk up to that stone or rip the center guard off. But now they're going to make that play into the 4-foot because he has a little insurance behind that corner guard over on the right hand side. So he's banking on that one to come into place during this end at some point, possibly to be their second point. So now Derek being asked to play something a little bit soft. He's been making all the high hard ones. So these guys have all the shots in their arsenal. There's good stone. There you go.
Nice tap back, created a pocket at the back of the 4-foot, and their shot.
Yeah. So Karsten's going to ask his second, Glenn Vinance, to throw a corner on that last stone that was delivered by Carruthers here, just to try to control that top 4 area. They're not too concerned that they're not shot at this point. Just want to get the rocks in the right position. You just can't. You have to be pretty precise on this one. You don't want to roll off it.
Cannot bounce off an inch.
No. And good. That one was a little dicey coming in. The boys were digging in with their toenails, and they got that one to stop the time.
The toes were curling up in the curling shoes.
Yeah. The only thing that it may have done is it punched the color stone a little bit closer to the 4-foot. They got that separation, so it's going to be a little bit harder to possibly get out of there at some point, and it changed the angle on the intern side around that corner guard if they have to come and use it or chase it at some point. But nonetheless, it's still in a good position. So I think did you see what the call here was there, Mark? I didn't see what he pointed to.
Did not.
Is he trying just to freeze to the corner or tap the bed? Looks with that weight, it looks like he's trying to get to the nose. Yeah, I think he wants to get to the nose. Another good stone by Derek. Wow. He's definitely feeling it this afternoon, folks.
So mid-end report card for Team Carruthers. I think pretty happy with the setup. You got a lot of green rocks in the house, so there's going to be opportunity to score. Sturmay, also probably not too displeased with the setup because they're all at the back of the 4-foot. He's got an opportunity to sneak one in there.
Yeah, I might have taken 8 ends to get a bunch of rocks in play, but here we are. Full out offense by both teams.
Guys taking an extra second in the hack to talk about weight, I'm sure.
Yeah, because they're playing that intern again. I hate to keep repeating myself, but against the side with the fan, so it's just a little bit different out there. They haven't thrown a whole lot of rocks, so Looks like we got it figured out. This one's coming in here pretty good. Just need to get some finish. We got that late finish. We got good rock position. Wonder if you'll see them rip that guard off at all, Mark. Or they're just going to keep pounding away at the rocks in the house.
Brad's looking at tapping his own green as an option, or onto the yellow rock to push that out of the 4-foot. Leaves their raised rock at the top of the 4-foot, a little bit of a control area.
Yeah, straight back would be pretty good, just what he's indicating right there. And if you ever did slightly touch that yellow one and kick it over, be a pretty good result as well.
Looking at playing some heat at this, Charlie?
Yeah. I'm not sure what they're... Always looking at possibly hitting that, looking at that green-yellow combo. It's got about a half of it. I think that they was looking at slashing it across, hitting the yellow one, and having their green raised rock kind of roll into the pile.
So the broom indication looks like you're throwing some weight at it.
Mm-hmm. The only problem that I see is, I mean, there's nothing you do about it, is all those rocks are behind the tee line. So even if he makes this one, there's going to be something for the Ste.Marie team to draw or freeze into. But
Curl sweep called.
yeah, he didn't throw it overly hard. He's just trying to bump that to there. It's not bad. He's fully buried, and he's above the tee line, and he shot rock. So it's a good result.
Sturmay now forced to deal with that shot rock. 3 rocks each left to come.
Yeah, they get quite a bit of movement on that out turn, so they could elect to play a similar shot that Brad just made with maybe a tad less weight, and push that shot stone into that hole there you see on the right hand side of the screen, and then set the shooter top 4. They're not looking to steal here. They just want to prevent Team Carruthers from scoring multiple in the game. So it's all about rock positioning for them. That is a danger rock, though. That green counter. I would probably elect to do something with it if I had the opportunity to be calling this shot, but
Just through the house weight and tap it through that hole.
yeah, I mean, I guess in the perfect shot, I suppose, too, would maybe corner it and hope that maybe in the next one we'll have something, but I think they were afraid if they do that Team Carruthers could throw something a little bit hard at the rock on edge of the 8-foot there, roll into the pocket, you can roll right in there, and then basically your corner frozen rock is now a guard for that stone.
Kyle's last rock of the 8 end.
Yeah, this is a big shot here. So if they were to rub that guard out front, we got to make sure that they get by that, push that through that hole, which they're going to be sitting on the side of the 4-foot, I believe, after the dust settles. Be interesting to see what Carruthers will do after that, but here it comes. Oh, they.
Great shot, just squeaked by.
Yep. So now they're sitting shot rock with a wall behind it.
Sitting 1, 2, 3, and 4. Carruthers is 5 and 6, so don't discount that as 3 rocks to make those 4 go away is still possible. So they're going to look at that. They're going to look at the draw. I think they're going to hit this rock.
Yeah, I think they're going to want to get rid of at least 2 of those yellow counters. I don't think there's a way to get 3, Mark. Unless you see something I don't. I mean, Brad could throw it hard, but just the position that they're in. I just don't think they go too far, but
So remove
you never know.
Stones, roll towards the center.
Actually, he's just throwing a control here. I think he's just trying to hit and roll to the center very, and maybe pick off one of them that's on the left-hand side as well. Over top. Yeah, he's just throwing something soft in there. He's close. Close. He's got to sit down with the shooter. Good shot. Maybe rolled a little bit deep, maybe a little bit too much roll, but still a good position.
By over-rolling a bit, Team Sturmay does not have that lightweight tap back available through the court.
Yeah, so they'll just be looking to corner freeze this one. So big shot, as you can see it down the sheet, it's actually open on the in-turn side, but they're going to elect to draw the out-turn. Okay, so once it hits the hog line, it's the curler in there, nice. So big shot by Karsten here. Can't afford to roll off this at all.
Sweepers are being patient with it.
Yeah, it's coming over. It's definitely going to be to the corner of it. Oh, nice stone. And they are shot rock. So, looks like Reid could almost make the same shot, maybe hit it a tad less. And just roll this shooter possibly over to the 9 o'clock position. Only problem with that is you leave a double back for Karsten if he did do that.
Double and hoping for a jam.
Yeah.
The great wall of yellow rocks at the back.
I think the ideal shot would be maybe to feather that yellow one. Just kick it a few inches to the right, and then sit your shooter to the left a little bit. Oh, they're going to try cornering it. We're going to give, you will give the Sturmay team a chance with the intern tap on it, though. If he corners it and change the angles up a little bit, it should be pretty difficult for them to score their 2 points if you're the Carruthers team. But
Game of cat and mouse now around the 4-foot. One trying to score 2, the one trying to force the 1.
yeah, it's going to come down to precision here. Anything less than 100% shot is probably going to hurt you. This one looks a little deep, Mark. It's not what they called. It's
unfortunate miss there by Reid.
Yeah, definitely. So
opportunity for Team Sturmay now to either tap their own or weld another one in there and make it really hard for Team Carruthers to score. Definitely not score 2.
yeah, their only concern is this is where they're looking at that yellow rock. So if they put one in there where the broom is, where he has his broom sitting there on the ice, if they're a little bit short of that, they're going to give Reid an opportunity to play the intern slash and roll off and possibly score 2 points, because those green ones really aren't going to go anywhere. So that's why this rock position is going to be so important. They actually have to be, well, either way it's going to be important, because if they end up drawing right beside the yellow one, he could have some sort of a smash on the outside and get some action going. I think the error here would be being to the green ones and even possibly tapping them. That would be the error. I think being short would be detrimental. And short, I mean by a couple inches.
Well, an exciting finish to a low-scoring game. Last 2 ends made up for that. Front end's keeping it clean. Now they put the brooms down.
Yeah, they're sweeping with some pretty good enthusiasm there now. This rock is curling. They don't want to touch their own yellow. They don't want to touch the yellow.
By.
Yeah, great sweep.
Good sweep.
So as we look at it, I don't know if there's an intern shot there. I mean, if he feathers that top yellow guard, he may get some action. Right, I'm just afraid that the yellow at the 5 o'clock position would get kicked out. It will only be for 1 anyway.
What would you do here, Charlie?
Well, I'd be looking at something to obviously get shot rock out of. I don't think you can follow Karsten down and just bump that yellow one back in order to get shot. I don't think it's there. I don't think it's. Yeah, we're just discussing here if the around the world is there, but I don't think that yellow is high enough. It's pretty flat. You'd have to throw a bomb down there.
So Reid, I think, is opting for the straight run back double and hopefully bounce those yellows out of the 4 foot, leaving 1 or 2 green counters at the end of it when all the dust settles.
A big shot for the skipper here.
Oh.
Wow.
Just over curled. Steal of 1 or 2 for Team Sturmay.
Yeah, after a well-played game by both teams, it looked like Carruthers was in control for 3/4 of this game, and just a couple of untimely misses by Reid Carruthers in the last 2 ends kind of sealed their demise on this one. But he'll bounce back.
1 life left. All right, folks, that's the end of our production today. Team Sturmay advances to the qualification round, and we'll be back at 4 p.m. for C qualifiers. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.
Running the sanctuary absolutely brings me peace. The work is 100% cathartic for me. You know, I find myself getting tied up in it and being busy, and then it's really nice just to sit, breathe in life, and it's beyond zen.